through 3 hours of the regular show on terrestrial radio, and you wanted a little bit more, so that's why you found the Gun Talk After Show podcast, where we saved all the best things that we can't say on regular radio. Now here's Tom, Michelle, and Jim for the Gun Talk After Show.
All right, we're in the after show portion of the show because it comes, well, you know, you get it. Okay. Hey, Tom Gresham here. It's Gun Talk, and we got Jim Kinsey on the board. Hey, Jim.
Greetings, sir. How are you today?
And Michelle Cleland gets a respite from answering all those calls. Hello, dear.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are our callers today? Do they treat you well?
Yes, always. They're very passionate about the season that we're in, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true.
We've got the best people.
Now, if they could only combine those two, the political season and open season, it would be work out great.
I didn't think you could take the after show off the air, but I think you just got us kicked off.
Yeah, that just did it.
I am Michelle, our guy who called in chopping the barrel off on his rifle. I know you were trying to help him on the phone, and then when I got to him, I was trying to help him, but I'm not sure we ever got anywhere with that.
No, I don't think a lot of people understand what crowning is or how important it is that it's done correctly. I mean, you can have a burnout barrel and replace it, and that's one issue. But if you had a barrel that was shooting fantastically and you just had somebody cut it off and they didn't perform the crowning correctly.
Explain what crowning is, because I know what it is and you guys know what it is, but not everybody may.
One way to go is to round off the edges. Imagine you cut a barrel off straight now; it's just a flat surface.
Okay.
Well, what you'll see on your factory barrels is there's kind of a round edge all the way around the barrel. The key here is if it is screwed up, and you could mess up the crown of a barrel by simply resting the barrel on the floor and making a nick where the rifling comes out at the end of the barrel, and that could screw up the accuracy of your barrel, just that little bit. And so people say, well, we did recrown the barrel. Yeah, but do you know what the hell you're doing? And unfortunately, a lot of gunsmiths don't. They know they got a hacksaw, and with a hacksaw, you can get the angle wrong. If you're not using a lathe, to cut it off and do it right. It is a critical part of gun accuracy. And a lot of times you can restore accuracy to a rifle by simply doing a new crown on the barrel, right, Michelle?
Correct. And like you said, find someone reputable, somebody who knows about an accuracy rifle. That was the best advice you could have given him, because that's where he's got to go. That's what he's got to do. And
then somehow he got hooked up, thinking that there was an 18-inch length on rifles. It's not. It's 18 on shotguns, 16 inches on rifles, But, basically, he's had his barrel chopped off twice so far, and the gun won't shoot. And he's wanting to know about a twist rate. And I'm going, the twist rate hasn't changed. That's not what's going on here.
Right, because you've lost a little bit of the end of your barrel. It's not really changing your twist. The twist is the same. It's already grooved into the barrel. It's there. Yeah,
the bullet is going the same twist rate after about, the first 6 inches. Well, we know that even in a 3-inch barrel pistol, you've got your twist rate established, so cutting off the barrel isn't going to do anything.
So when they chamfer off that edge where the hole is, it's no longer a flush 90-degree hole. It's chamfered off or router or whatever they use to get it smoothed out. Then they have to go back and actually address where the lands and grooves are as they exit the rifle?
No, there's actually more than one type of crowning. There's something called a target crown, which basically is recessed, which I really like, because now if you do rest your muzzle on the floor of your pickup truck, the part of the barrel where the rifling is does not come in contact with the gritty, rocky, sandy floor of your Bronco.
Gotcha.
But yeah, if you start looking up crowns, rifle crowns, it's just one of those areas that people may have heard of, may not have. Some people probably have never heard of it, but even those who have may not understand the true value.
It's just as critical and just as important as cleaning a rifle, which is why they have the muzzle guards that go into the end. Because if you think about it, they protect.
Good point.
That crowning, where the ends of the rifling is. Yeah.
That's why you should clean a rifle or anything from the breech end, not from the muzzle end, if at all possible, because you're trying not to damage the crown of your rifle.
Right.
Rifle barrel.
You want to stay down the center bore of any firearm that you're cleaning and.
Cleaning?
Wow.
I've heard of that.
Cleaning? Oh, my God. What is that?
I send those away for that.
Rob Latham.
Rob Latham. He says, yeah, use the Latham method of cleaning. Don't. Just don't. I don't do that. Oh. That was a fun interview. Have you, Jim, I know you've seen the Palooza video. Isn't that fun?
It's awesome. I thought the best part was making Rob do all the work, all the labor, adjusting the targets. Oh, yeah.
He's out there adjusting all of the steel popper targets. And you know, think about that's 100 of those. That's a lot of weight. Shipping those things in and moving them around. We had a whole team of people setting them up. But I think the video turned out great. I'm just really
I like
happy.
The drone stuff. That's a cool perspective.
Yeah, here's the weird deal here. We're getting set up to do this shootout in Las Vegas, and I'm thinking, I need a drone. I would really do something. So I just pick a guy out of the blue, right? I just do a Google for drone operator in Las Vegas and call this guy. Right out of the box, guy says, oh, yeah. He says, well, I've been shooting 3 Gun Nation TV shows for 3 years. I go, home run, done.
He's our guy.
You know. Then I said, well, what do you charge? He told me. I said, well, will you take a gun in partial payment? He goes, yeah. So we're doing a Springfield Army. So the guy ends up with a pistol because he wants to get into 3-gun shooting. So it was a home run all the way around.
Oh, cool. Everybody wins.
Yep. And it was really good drone footage, too. He really knew what he was doing.
Cool.
So that was cool. Yeah, anybody that hasn't seen it, just go to YouTube and look up Palooza, and you'll see what we're talking about. It was fun stuff. And that's the new Springfield Army Saint. To be fair, we all did have a lot of fun making fun of the idea that, Springfield Army has a new rifle. Holy cow, how innovative. Oh, wait, it's an AR-15. Okay.
But they were long overdue. They were long overdue.
They were. They didn't have their own, and and there are brand loyal people. It's like Chevy and Ford people. You know, there are people who say, I'm a Smith guy, I'm a Colt guy, and people say, I love my Springfield Armory, and now they have one. So there you go.
Cool.
It worked. It's. I will say I wasn't kidding when I said the darn thing ran all day long with us shooting like a zillion rounds through it. I was impressed by that.
Sweet.
Speaking of which, I went on a shoot recently, and the guns were not working after about the third day, and they were getting gummed up and all. And I said to myself, Self, why do you not have gun lube with you? I said, oh, okay. And so I went to the trade show, the NASGW show in Kansas City last week, and I walk over to the Slip 2000 booth. I'm talking to Greg, and I'm telling him, and he reaches over, and they have these like 1 ounce little tube samples. He hands me a double handful. He says, just take these with you wherever you go. Yes.
What a cool company.
There's a thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. What they're doing now is rather than send the samples out to individuals, what they were doing is saying they want gun stores to have the samples so they can hand them out, which from a gun store standpoint is brilliant. You hand these out, and then when people try it, they go, that's cool stuff, and then you get to sell the product,
and
which
costs them nothing on the front end to do it.
The gun doesn't cost the gun store anything. They get all these samples for free. But just think of the idea of having 1 or 2 of those with you wherever you are. And I have seen, in fact, you were with me, Jim, that time we were at the range with the guys from Vada, and my gun wasn't working right. Yep. And Destin grabbed a bottle of Slip 2000 at EWL.
Right.
It basically, squirted it here, squirted it there, hosed it down. Worked the action 3 or 4 times. So here, hands it back to me. Darn thing ran flawlessly after that.
Mm-hmm. I recall. That was a fun trip.
Anytime you get to go out and shoot with guys who know what they're doing, huh?
No doubt. That was actually one of my first training ventures at all. Kind of got me the bug.
That's when you reach that stage of, you go from unconscious incompetence to conscious incompetence, which is the stage where you go, holy cow, there's a bunch of stuff I don't know.
Right. Yeah. And I think if you don't train again, you fade back into just total unconscious.
Sure. I think that's exactly right. All right. So you guys are both, I'm sitting down here in the Bayou country, but you're both in Ohio, one of the swing states where you're just getting bombarded with commercials.
Yeah. And they're getting pretty vicious too.
Yeah, it's not even commercials. We're getting so many pamphlets in the mail. I got 9 of them on Friday. 9, all on one day. 1 pro and 2 against. I was like, well, that outweighs that one. I know how I'm voting there.
Wow.
We were driving through town. I saw, hundreds of Trump yard signs. And then I saw, I don't know, half a dozen maybe Clinton signs. And then I saw 2 Jill Stein signs. I thought that was kind of cool.
Well, that's interesting.
There are other people out there, yeah.
There are, yes. So what you're saying is about the same number of Clinton signs as Jill Stein signs?
Yeah,
That's weird.
Pretty close. Hey, if somebody doesn't want to vote for Trump because they don't like his, hair and skin being the same tone, which I've heard. Oh, his hair and spray tan match.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a great reason not to vote.
Yeah, right. Yeah. How shallow can we be?
So the vote for Stein. That's great. In that case, awesome.
Well, people are going to do what they're going to do, and I will tell you that at this point, I think it's pretty much a toss-up. I mean, it really is. I know that they're saying that Clinton has the Electoral College vote lined up, but I think that's been shifting. I'm going to stay up Tuesday night. I'm going to watch the whole thing because I guess I have to.
But see, you also got to keep in mind polls and Facebook studies and all this stuff. They're based on the people they could reach. There's a lot of people that just aren't in touch with the news and are going to do what they're going to do, and you're not going to change any of those folks. And I think that's where you're going to see the turnout's going to be a little bit different than the Dems are anticipating. They think they're going to keep people home. I don't think so this time.
Well, to me, the polls are no more accurate than the fact that they're just trying to persuade the general population where they need to be.
Or dissuade them from voting altogether.
Exactly.
They're push polls. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, I want to have you both weigh in on what was my favorite call of the day, and that was Manny. Let's talk about that. We'll be right back.
Want your next gun purchase to be fast and hassle-free? Well, at galleryofguns.com, you can search through thousands of models from our huge firearms inventory. Find a great offer from a local dealer that includes all fees and taxes. And there's no need to arrange a transfer. Gallery of Guns takes a small deposit on your credit card, and your gun will be at your chosen dealer in as little as 48 hours. Plus, your gun will be covered by our guaranteed lifetime replacement warranty. GalleryofGuns.com. Search, find, buy. It really is just that easy.
The Ruger American Rifle is a 100% American-made firearm that offers outstanding performance at a great price. Available in standard size and compact models, it features power bedding integral bedding blocks, a Ruger Marksman adjustable trigger, a flush-fit 4-round rotary magazine, and a 3-lug bolt with 70-degree throw. Compact models feature a shorter length of pull and a shorter barrel for a reduction in overall length of more than 5 inches. The Ruger American Rifle, another rugged, reliable firearm from Ruger.
Fans of Slip 2000 EWL gun lubricant will want to try EWL 30 this summer. The thicker EWL 30 sits up, migrates less, stays wetter longer, and will not dry out. Perfect for long-term storage. It also holds up better in hotter conditions while still providing the excellent high round count performance you have come to expect from the original EWL. Slip 2000. We're all about gun care. Learn more at slip2000.com.
All right, we're back and just laughing and goofing off because that's what we do around here. Oh, my gosh. So what did you just say, Jim?
Nothing of any value.
Oh, okay. Nothing. Nothing, dear.
No, Michelle gave me a hard time.
Well, yeah.
I was innocent.
What did you say? He got out of a sticky situation, Michelle?
Yeah, I said a little Slip 2000. He gets out of any sticky situation.
Then he talked himself into
I can get through turnstiles, you name it.
That's right. I can do anything with that stuff. All right. So we had this call today, and I got to tell you, I just thought it was great. From Manuel from Las Vegas, Manny. He said, call me Manny. Trump supporter. He's American with Mexican descent, U.S. veteran, military veteran, and his family and friends are giving him a hard time. They think he should vote his culture. And my question to you both is, I kind of went pretty far into it. What did you think about how that all developed when I asked, well, do they think it's okay just to break the law to come into the country?
That's exactly where we have to be. Like, be honest. Why is it upsetting to you? And I get there's lots of good people. I'm not making a generalized statement that anybody that comes into our country is bad and has evil intentions. Not at all. We wouldn't be the country that we are currently if we didn't allow that. But there's a process that you're supposed to follow, and if you don't follow the process, it is an illegal act. Now, obviously, they're coming here because of an opportunity or to get away from a situation that they are currently in. So there's positives to being here. So why wouldn't you want your family to be embedded in those positives and keep voting that way? I mean, that's my whole, and I said to Manny as well, you gave your life, you're a veteran. Thanks for your service to our country. You're doing justice by staying involved. We're the beacon to the rest of the world on what it's like to be free. We can't lose that.
Right. And the idea that you should, because you want to continue to allow people to break the law, no, that's not right. I mean, and I don't understand how any group of people who can say, well, and they always say, well, we're hardworking and we're honest and stop. No, actually, no. If you broke the law to come in, that's not honest. That's a different thing altogether. And I don't understand how a group of otherwise law-abiding, honest, hardworking people can continue to support this massive law-breaking enterprise of entering the country illegally.
Yeah, I guess my take on it is kind of, and this isn't just Mexican citizens, this is anybody. If this is such a lousy country and everything's so wrong with the U.S., why in the hell did you come here in the first place? Is it really that bad? I don't think anybody's saying it's a lousy country. I don't think anybody's saying that at all. I think they're just saying we don't want to go through the legal process to come in. We want to be here, and we're going to do whatever it takes, including breaking the law to go in. Because they've been able to get away with it for so long.
Well, yeah, and also it turns out, as we're seeing, the Democrats have been supporting that because they know, and now it's showing up, that a great many of the folks coming in are going to vote Democrat.
Right. So proper legal immigration is voter suppression, basically.
Or in this case, the Democrats are supporting a widespread illegal activity.
I like that word better. I like that a lot better.
Is this any surprise from our Democrat candidate who breaks the law on essentially almost a daily basis? The whole email server is illegal. The classified information is illegal. It just goes on and on and on. And then now she wants to, of course, essentially wipe out gun rights, all of our rights as human rights with firearms, our ability to protect ourselves. Think about this. Is it crazy to think that the more dependent they make us, the more secure they are in their rulership or leadership of us?
Oh, no, that's exactly what they're counting on. Anything, if they can get you to eat out of their hand, you're not going to bite them. It's just like training a well-behaved dog. I mean, they'll come eat out of your hand. You've got the food. That's what they need. They're not going to bite you.
I think you just about covered it there. I'm looking at this story about this guy in South Carolina. He's locked this woman up for months, killed her boyfriend, told her about all the other people he's killed, and he's coming up to people on the street and abducting them. People are doing that on a daily basis. And I had this talk with my wife, and she said, well, that's part of our culture of boys are raised and they're told, well, you have to take care of yourself. But for whatever reason, in many cases, girls are not given that same message. Is that fair? I mean, is that a fair recitation of the situation?
Yeah, Jim and I are both
generally
shaking our
speaking,
head.
right? Yeah, not in responsible families, but generally speaking, yes.
I mean, but generally speaking, a lot of girls are raised, they're not raised with the whole thing, well, you have to stand up for yourself, or you have to take care of yourself, or, that kind of, that's thought, for whatever reason, thought to be a manly thing. And it should just be a human thing of taking care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for the longest time, too, and go back several generations, that's why a lot of people were married where they were, because the man was to take care of them financially, emotionally, security-wise, everything. That was the job. And
sure, and that's right. You grow up as a little girl, and then you become a good wife. You go off and get married. You go to school to find a husband or whatever. That was the way people talked in the 30s, 40s, 50s.
And now, at least as far as a retail store speaking, I can't say that there are parents who come in that want to give whatever tools they can to a child. Some schools you can't carry pepper sprays to. You can't carry pepper spray, you know, but you can carry screecher alarms. You can carry a strobe flashlight. There's other things that you can do, and some parents are taking advantage of that, but lots of them don't until the child starts talking about college, moving away, being on campus. Now I've got to give them these tools. Well, there's a lot of education that comes along with that, and if you start younger, it's so much easier. You already have the tools of engagement.
Yes, I'm not sure if you guys read my show notes before, but you're segueing right into something I wanted to talk about.
You had show notes?
It's scribbled on a piece of paper that actually has stains from my sandwich on it. But
and that's how he looks today. Sorry.
Yeah. I had a heated verbal confrontation with one of my aunts this weekend. The argument was about my 13-year-old daughter who has her own pistol. And she thought it was just satanic that my daughter would have a pistol in the first place. And I could have let it go, but I didn't, of course. Why? So I brought up the fact that, you know, there's times that she's home alone, and this goes back to the protection thing you guys were just talking about. There's times that she's home alone and she has her pistol. Well, that's been like that for a couple of years. Now she has her own safe and her own pistol. And, you know, I can't believe you would give a 13-year-old a gun. And my response was, I know 30-year-olds, I would never put a gun in their hand. The age has nothing to do with it. We've raised her to realize that there's idiots in the world, and you have to protect yourself. You can't rely on mom and dad to be here 24/7. Be nice. It's not real world, so you have to be able to protect yourself, which is why we shoot and train and everything else. And my aunt was just, she just went ballistic. She couldn't believe I'd be that irresponsible to, you know, give my 13-year-old the exact opposite stance. It's like, yeah. And I don't think it's really responsible. She can take care of herself. So it's just two different definitions, I guess. But, yeah, so she's still mad at me, and I'm good with that.
Well, I'm not at all being flip about this. Don't be surprised if Child Protective Services shows up.
Yeah, I could see that.
And here's the thing. I just talked to a guy I know who had Child Protective Services come take his children out of his home for 2 or 3 months.
Because he's a shooter, or?
No, because he had a sister or brother who had a daughter, his niece, totally screwed up, and the whole family had gone south. And he said, I'll take her in. And this girl had been in the system for so long, she really knew how to work it. And he wouldn't give her what she wanted, whatever it was. So she went to school and said that he had assaulted her.
Oh, jeez. Well,
done.
It happens.
They show up. They take the kids. I mean, there's no appeal. They are the source.
Yeah, you're right.
It ended up having. I mean, we're talking probably $20,000 to go to court, to go before the judge, and finally the judge figured out, you know, who she was and what she was up to and all. But I mean, they were months with their kids having been taken out of their homes. And he's having to take mandatory classes on anger management and all this other stuff. It was like bizarre. It was
wow.
But the kids don't even have to go that far. You can be looking at adoption, and if you answer that question in their eyes incorrectly by owning a firearm, that can cease any opportunity for adoption whatsoever.
It doesn't. Total horse.
Or if you want to be a foster parent, if you can't have guns in the home if you're a foster parent.
I mean, how many children?
In some states,
I know out there in like Lucas County, they put a number out there, and I forget what it is right now, but it was hundreds of kids that will not have a foster family of any sort that need help, need attention, need love, whatever.
Because
need a home.
People were able to protect them and wanted to protect them and can't.
Yeah. So, is it so bad? You're going to teach them responsibility at some point in time if you choose to educate them, which is what has to happen because...
That blows my mind. I had no idea. That totally blows my mind.
It gets in the way all the time.
That's ridiculous.
They can't take them to any kind of store, any archery, any kind of exposure to anything shooting in the shooting industry.
God.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Okay, you know what? This really gets me cranked up. This could be a project for us. Let's find out. There's only 50 states. Let's do a rundown and find out which states have those kind of rules for foster care and for adoption. And then we start the project. We go to the legislature, And we can't get it done in all states, but I bet you we could get a measure introduced in a lot of states to simply have that reversed, because that's probably not a law. I bet it's just a policy that the bureaucrats at the Child Protective Services and the adoption agency people in the state have come up with on their own. I'll bet you it's not a law.
Let me ask you something. I haven't been through this before. In an adoption, do they actually do a site visit to your home to make sure you're not a psychopath?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And
it's several times. They come in and they observe the interaction.
And they do unannounced.
They do a complete home inspection, wiring, little covers on your electrical socket, just all kinds of stuff. Lamps being full up to code. I mean, just...
So they're really safety conscious. Let me show you my safe. Let me show you where we keep our firearms locked up.
Yep.
And that's your responsibility.
I'll be doing some legwork this week.
Yeah, so each of us can, in all these various states, we can start running this down. The Gun Talk Truth Squad, this can be a project for us to start working on it, and then we'll get a friendly legislator to start working on it. This is a multi-year project, but why not? If not us, who? If not now, when?
Well, and how many successful children have been raised in a home with firearms? Tom, you're one.
Never, ever. There's never been one.
Yeah.
all of yours, all of mine, all of his.
Right.
Yes.
And we say it all the time, but the responsibility that has to be shown.
Wow, I was totally clueless.
Well, not just about this, though, Jim.
No, I meant across the board. But seriously, any listeners that have any input on this or experiences, we'd love to hear them.
Exactly. Send it to info@guntalk.com, info@guntalk.com. We'll start compiling this and work on that. And it kind of goes to what I ended up with on the show, which is, yes, the election is Tuesday, and whatever happens is going to happen. We're hoping it comes out well. But either way, in terms of what we have to do, we're not going to change anything. We're going to keep working on this and keep pushing back the assaults and try to make some headway. Instead of just stopping the loss, we've got to go regain lost ground, and that's our job. And that's going to be our job every day, every week, every month, every year.
Get involved, spend some money.
Do your share.
Get off your butt, get out of the wagon, because we're pulling this wagon and you're heavy. We need some help out here. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
Okay.
So let's see. Jim, you did early voting already?
No.
Okay. So you're not going to vote this year, right?
I don't. There's a vote this year.
What?
I had no idea. No, I don't. I don't trust anybody about anything anymore. I'm going to go to cast my ballot. I'm going to check the paper receipt to show it is what it shows on the digital, because we have those kind. And that's about all I can do, and continue to badger my friends and my relatives that hate me
in the voting booth. Yeah,
sure.
Your relatives that hate you. Yeah, take a selfie in the voting booth just because, right?
Sure, because you can.
You could do a live Facebook video from the voting booth. Probably violate all sorts of laws.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm not a tough sell.
Michelle, did you early vote?
No, sir.
See, that's interesting.
Voting on the day.
Me too. And I keep reading, they say that Democrats tend to early vote more than Republicans do.
Because they know their vote won't be changed.
Yeah. Republicans see it as a cultural thing to go out on voting day.
It's tradition, yeah.
Well, if that is all true, and these reports we're getting of early voting are very heavy early voting, and it could well be that a lot of that is either even or more Democrat, what that may tell us is that there's a surprise big vote on the Trump side coming up on Tuesday.
I mean, I understand why people would. I don't understand why people would still vote for Hillary, but I understand the loyalists that are, not going to put up a sign. They're not going to talk about it. They don't want to hear the abuse they're going to get from the other side. They just keep it to themselves. They're going to vote for Hillary. You're always going to have those. But look, even then, those people would go to a rally, right? You're relatively safe there. You're amongst 10 or 15 of your other friends at a Hillary rally. And you look at the Trump rallies, they're 10, 12,000 people. Now, I just find it really hard to believe that all these closet Clinton voters are out there just itching for Tuesday to get out there and vote, and they're not going to go to rallies, they're not going to support her or do anything else. I don't know. I'm still thinking landslide. It's got to be.
On the basis of the rallies where Clinton's pulling 200 to 500, and Trump's pulling 5,000 to 15,000, depending on the size of the hall, you're saying that's an indication of the enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm of our side, yeah. And I don't know. I think we're being fed a line of horse feces when it comes to what the real numbers are, and probably on both sides. But I still think it's going to be 278 electoral votes for Donald J. Trump.
That's where you are. 278.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have an in-house
All
wager
right.
here, Michelle.
I have nothing. I haven't even thought like that. I'm going to vote. I know I'm voting. And I
That's all you need to
pray
know.
that others are, consciously
Yeah.
making a decision because it's going to affect everybody and not just me. Generations
No, it's
and
going to affect the
generations
country.
to come.
It's
generations,
yes.
And that's what scares me more.
Everything in our country.
Being a
It's,
parent, yep.
Obamacare, it's everything. It's just on and on and on. You can't overstate the importance, so there it is. All right, well, I'm going to be out there, crack of dawn. I'm going to be voting. So, and then I'll be working through the day, and then can't wait to get home at the end of the day and tune in and just watch it all.
Can't wait
I may
to
have
get your
drink
text
heavily.
messages Tuesday night. Yeah.
Call into work. Tell them you might be late. The lines are long.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. If work's
Even if
an
you early
issue,
voted.
just
Oh, nice.
vote early. Vote. Oh wait, this is not Chicago.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Right. Where even the dead can vote multiple times. Oh, all right. Well, thank you, folks. We will know where we are. Well, we might know where we are on Wednesday, or it could go for weeks and weeks if there's a recount. So who knows? All right. In the meantime, talk to everybody you know about their own personal safety. Try to, sometimes you got to scare people or try to break through that bubble of I'm not really vulnerable. Well, yeah, you are, but I know it makes you feel safer to pretend you're not. It doesn't make you safer, though. That's my other crusade, is to get people to wake up to the fact that only they are going to take care of themselves.
I have a need to play some trumpet music right now, a little heralding kind of stuff for you. Exactly. Oh, great. Now I don't have to look up a sound effects. Thanks.
Yeah, okay, see, we got that. Okay, we're good.
Tom Foley Gresham.
Now, Tom Foley we got rid of.
Oh, that's Foley should have been in quotes. The two coconuts and a
talking about the
box
other
of
kind of
gravel in
Foley.
front of you.
That's right, exactly. He's all yours.
Oh, thanks. I got some lube. I'm getting out of here.
Whoa! And with that, we're sliding into home.
I'm done.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Well, that wraps up another Gun Talk After Show. But if you want even more gun-related stuff, don't forget to check out Gun Dealio. It's the app for Apple and Android phones that connects you to all the Gun Talk shows, plus even more. And we'll catch you next time for the Gun Talk After Show.